Hello, good morning law aspirants, and you must be awaiting the video of vocabulary, enhancing your vocabulary, the vocabulary booster, the vocabulary series. So here we are with the new video. Every day 15 minutes, not much time, but adding up to vocabulary, you add too many words. We see 10-15 minutes here and there out of your busy schedules. Managing the time out of the 24 hours is not a difficult thing, but the most important, the gist of the thing is you just to remember just one or two roots, that's it, and you feel the difference while reading. Some students did write to me that they've started feeling the difference in reading, which novels they've started reading, Jane Austen's novels, or it's Charles Dickens novels, or William Makepeace Thackeray, or any of the novelists that they had preferred to read, right? So let's begin with what you should read. You are reading, your problems, your things, do write up, because you know when you write up, we come to know that which words you are jotting down. Sometimes the students, when they give this response, see, when we have this word, ma'am, we have jotted down for AB root, Sid root, Kata root, Gen root, class or race, Greg root, that is group. So, you know, it is itself a booster for the students, and it means they are really working, they are working on the thing, they are trying to understand, and they are writing up the words, okay. So, let's begin with today's class with of vocabulary enhancement. As usual, you will say, ma'am, every day you say the same thing. Yes, I do, because as the sun is daily new and old, so I am still telling what is already told. This is famous lines of Shakespeare, that the sun, you know, he was blamed, Shakespeare was blamed that he used to tell every time the same thing. So, some people said, you don't change your topic. So he said, why should I change the topic? The sun is daily new and old, and I'm still telling what is already told. So I'm reminded of those lines of Shakespeare. I'm also telling what is already told, and I'll keep repeating, because my consistency is really going to help you improve your vocabulary, right? So do a lot of reading, at least 5 pages a day you're supposed to read. No mugging, slowly, gradually, consistently, you are able to do it. Read fiction, read newspapers, read editorial section. This is expected from you. I've already given you a list of the word. See, I divided you people, that is the Clat aspirants, in 3 broad categories. If you're a very fast learner, go for novels, and you can finish it in 3-4 days. And depends on your sitting power too. If you are a moderate reader, go for the essays section, and if you are very slow reader, go for short stories, right? Because short stories are interesting, catchy, magnetic and pulling, so you try to grasp them and hold them in your mind, okay. So beginning with our novel section, Sense and Sensibility, one of the famous novels of Jane Austen. She was called the Queen of Irony. You also come to know about the literary device that is irony, right? You would come to know what irony is. You know, explaining in words and reading Jane Austen, that would be a total different scenario. The other novel, Persuasion. Animal Farm had earlier also asked you, it's based on allegory. It's a kind of, again, a literary device in which the names of the characters are given fictitious names. It's based on Russian Revolution of 1917. Wonderful Napoleon and snowball part. My telling you, I don't want to remove that suspense and things which will grasp your attention. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, one of the best novels about a 10-year-old girl and her development. So 10 years to 20 years, what changes that come up in her life have been explained. And Thomas Hardy's A Pair of Blue Eyes. This is said one of the best optimistic novel. So it's a must read. See, reading you have to do. This you have to do for yourself. This is something which is a food for thought, food for your mind. And without your food, your craving and your desire and your yearning will never be satisfied for reading. You have to, students. So please, turning up to short stories section. The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. The E was cut off, so I do write it here. Araby by James Joyce. James Joyce is called a writer of stream of consciousness technique. This is the style of forward and backward movement. देखो read करोगे then you would understand what I'm talking of. The Last Leaf by O. Henry, great American writer. He's an American novelist. Wonderful. He was the one who in fact gave the, art of fiction. The Doll's House by Catherine Mansfield. What is the position of women? Talking about the matriarchal and patriarchal system which is spreading in everywhere. It's, wings everywhere. Kew Gardens by Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf is a feminist writer. Those interested in feminism and feministic world can surely read this kind of a novel, a short story. Wonderful read. Yes. Turning to the essays. The Pleasure of Ignorance. Robert Led, I told you, was a great editorial section. He used to write under the pen name of YY, and he was very famous by this. People didn't want to become famous at that time. They used to write by a pseudonym, and that was pseudonym was YY. The Ebb in the Tide. This is again by Robert Louis Stevenson. Of Youth and Age by Francis Bacon. The Path to Rome. Belloc. Belloc is known for his wonderful essays in a very satirical manner. He writes, right, today students did ask me to tell more of the reading skills, so I have taken more of that. This is an aphoristic essay he writes, which is loaded with lot of advice. This is called worldly advice. अगर आप ऐसे नहीं भी पढ़ते हो ना बेटा, in fact the word aphoristic itself adds meaning to your vocabulary dictionary. That means worldly advice. A Night Among the Pines by R.L. Stevenson, again a famous personal essay. Oxford in the Vacation, Charles Lamb's experiences and the nostalgic feeling which one has when he goes to live in a hostel, and The Friendly Town by E.V. Lucas. This is a good reading skill. Please do read it. All the list here I have given you of essays, short stories, novels. I do show it once to you. This is the novel section that I'd asked you any of them. I'm there to guide you up if you want any kind of help. This is the list of the short stories that I've asked you to read. Any of them, again, please do read them. We can provide you the PDFs also if required, but you can easily arrange. In today's the world of internet, a window to the world, nothing is impossible. And reading, earlier we used to, crave for books and sit in the libraries and do that, but today's students don't have this kind of a problem. And I asked you to read these essays. The choice is entirely yours. Whichever part you are interested in, you should go for that. Okay. Now, beginning up with the root section, I will take up a short root here. The root is 3 roots I want to take. We take up the root, that is the root fill. I had more words than that I will continue maybe in the next class too. The root fill. Fill means love. The root fill means love, right? So, this is any love, attachment, association with this. Philosopher, a person who is lover of wisdom. He loves to read books, wisdom, knowledgeable things. He is a philosopher. Philosopher is a scholar in fact, and he is full of wisdom, knowledge, similar to the word cogent and erudite and learned person, right? Philanthropist. Now, see the 2 roots merge in this. Phil and anthrop. Phil is love and anthrop is man. So, a lover of mankind, human beings, is philanthropist. He is a person who is, see the synonyms for the word, altruist. He is very kind. He is very generous from the root gen. He is a selfless person. And he is a munificent. He is ready to help people. Just opposite, we could go for the root miss. So, when we have this, the opposite, miss and anthrop. Miss is not and anthrop is man. So, hater of man, not loving man. So, we have the synonym, we have the antonym ready, long list of synonyms. Altruist from the root alt. See how easy to remember. See, alt means height. great high love and regard for human beings. Kind and gen means love for the class or the race, right? And the word munificent or selfless. Hemophilic, you have to remember the root blood. So lover of blood, how would a person love blood? You know, this is a psychological problem the person has. Then the word Philip, itself a name for various Christian name, a lover of horses. Philologist is, you can have the word lodge or the word logy, that is, log is words. Logy, study of words. Philologist is a person who is a lover of words. Philodendron, देखिए dend root है. This dend means tree. So he's a person who loves trees. He's a person who loves ecological balance. He's a person who loves to see the trees around him. So that is Phil. This is not one root. There are many roots assembled with it. Phil is love. Anthrop is man. Miss is not. Gen is class or race. Alt is height. Den is trees. Log is words. Hem is blood. 8 roots. Just one slide, 8 roots and 20 synonyms here with you. What more do you want? Nothing much, and just in a fraction of second. Yes, a blink of an eye and make you remember so many words so quickly. Yes, so quickly. Moving on further in the route, please jot down the words. If you have missed any, not understood, any kind of issue or problem, please do ask. Philodox is a person who loves the opinion he himself holds. That means he's too much, you know, carrying over by his own words, his own talks. So that is Philodox, of his own opinions. Philodem. So we have the word dem root, which means people. We have odox, that is opinion, right? A person who is Delphi, he is a lover of his, you can see this root coming up. Delphi is a person who is loving everybody as brothers, similar to philanthropist. Philomaths is a person, you can see math, this is an American way of saying maths. There is no difference between math and maths. I was wondering, I looked for it and I added to my knowledge that M-A-T-H and M-A-T-H-S, there is no difference, right? So, it's a lover of learning. Philogynist, one who is fond of females. So, we have the root gyne, that is women. Philochaint is a lover of all the good things that is around him. All the good things around him, that is Philochaint, right? So, basic word you remembered is Phil. The other roots, dem people, odox opinion, gyne female, math learning. Knowledge. We have already done 2-3 roots for knowledge. Cog is for mind and knowledge, and SCI, that is also for mind and knowledge. Just 2-4 more words for this. Okay, fine. Philomuse, muse is a person who has a great opinion about poetry. So, he is a person who is an art lover. So, he is a lover of poetry and art. So, you could write for muse, that is arts. Logy is knowledge or study of words or language, that is even again study. Philotechnics is a lover of practical arts, he loves practical arts. Anglo, see when we have this word Anglo, that means British. You could have so many things, most of the Indians are Anglophiles. And the root, I have focused on the roots today, more on the words. T-H-E-M or T-H-E-I, that is God. I mean, atheist means not believer of God. She is a theist, like I'm a theist, so believer in God. A love for God, too much love for God. We'll continue with this because there are more words I want to add up. So, just to add on to the word fill, that means yes, love. Okay, students, thank you.